Oh, that was fast. I was just configuring the screen and the red button starts appearing. Alright, class, as you all know, the recording of the lesson has begun. Once again, after the recording of the lesson, I post the recorded lesson in the classroom so you can watch it anytime, particularly if you get disconnected, unable to return, or you want to watch it again and you listen and watch the lesson as it was presented in the classroom virtually, then you have the opportunity to really understand what I want you to learn. Okay, so thank you for your cooperation. If you, yes, I did, Jose. I did, Jose. I want you to stay put, Jose. Stay put in our lesson. This is a very important lesson because it is a combination of other lessons we have learned in the past, and we will going to be focusing on what we call a pyramid, or in other words, the triangle. I will stay away from saying the word triangle instead of, which I do expect you have completed this project. Materials are still in the office. Instead of the triangle, I will be making use of the word pyramid. Yeah, just like the pyramid in Egypt. Its a shape is basically a triangle. We're going to save that word a little bit for later use. But for the time being, I want everybody to look at the preserved specimens that I have. Some of them you're familiar with because we've used them in the past. One is brand new. But you saw it a while ago. Alright. So please tell me how many do you see? How many? They are individually different from each other. At timestamp 113, I must see your name with the number of how many specimens do I have on the tray. Please type in the room. How many do I have? This, and that. How many? Waiting. Five, yeah, please. If you snooze, you lose. Alright? If the questions are simple, I was gonna be move on a bit faster. Yes. There are five different organisms I have. If you haven't typed number five, please do so. Okay, now because before I let you go for lunch, one skill that you should be able to do is to, aside from identifying what particular organism and what kind of food habit they practice, you should be able to find out how many they are by looking at the relationship, not just simply counting. Mhm. When I say relationship, just like the word interaction that we had in the past, how they are related. Are they feeding on the same type of food? Or are they like one a prey who is being eaten by a predator? We're gonna get to that details eventually later. Okay? So it's not just simple counting. Just like what you did a while ago. You counted using this five. Alright. So please, if you haven't done so, please put number five. Alright, now I'm going to put label on each one of them. But prior to that, let become familiar once again with what these organisms are. Could you, at timestamp 115, could you tell me what is this? Everybody please put your name in the room and tell me what animal is this. Earthworm, lovely, that is one. Next, please type in the room. Ooh, you dare not be next to this one alive. One of a poisonous reptile, particularly in an arid or very dry desert. Sometimes you see this in the corner of the ground or in the yard. Don't dare to touch it because, tell me, what is this? Not a spider, a scorpion. Yes. Looks like a spider, but it isn't. They are not similar, but they are related. Yeah, scorpion has the tail of the scorpion at the end. There is a very poisonous chemical that can kill another organism, even human beings. Okay, so if you are camping, for instance, particularly if you are on a desert with lots and lots of dry land and lots of sun, check your tent area. Make certain that nothing can creep in your tent in the middle of the night. Okay, scorpion. That's the second one. Next, tell me, what do I have here in this jar? Tap in the room. A snail, right? If you haven't typed, symposium. What is symposium? Oh, symposium. Snail. I don't know what symposium is. It's a snail, yeah. It's snail, we know. Plentiful here at La Paz. Yeah, if you're here during rainy season, and that's where I got this from, during the time it was raining, so their tendency is to get out of their burrows in the soil because I don't want too much wet environment. Last two. Could you type in the room what insect is this? What insect? Insect. A weevil. Right. It's a flower weevil and lives in the flower. And we've used this in the past. And this is already dead. And they love flower. So don't keep your flower for years. The weevil will grow. And check the expiration of flour you use in baking tortilla whatsoever. Because if they have been in the pantry for many years, like this has been in the pantry in the room there in the school for almost 15 years. Yes, 15. You don't want to use this anymore in baking because they're already expired and animals like we will have lived in there. All those poops they had is already in the flour. Lastly, once again, the germinating plant, and I do have his okra. There are five different organisms, and this is the plant. Next step. I'm going to do the next step, which I'm going to label. Could you tell me if I am labeling it, if the labels are correct? Shall I do it one by one, or I don't know? Let me do it one by one. Let me do it one by one because I was planning to do it all at the same time. Let's do it one by one. We have time anyway. Alright, let me see. Could you tell me if the label, let me show you the label. The labels are as follows. Producer, and there's some information plants. Another one is a consumer. This particular consumer is, they're only plant-eating animals. They're vegetarian. Another one is a plant and animal eaters. Brianna left the meeting. Hopefully it's just a technology problem. I may put two living things together or separately. I'm going to label them by putting this next to each other, next to it, and you tell me whether it is right or wrong. We are in the process of identification. Remember I said a while ago when we look at a triangle or pyramid, we're going to find out if they are properly placed and how many they are. With regards to their identification when it comes to their feeding habit in relation to their location or where they are in the pyramid or in the triangle. I know it's quite complicated. Can be. That's why I want you to stay put with me. By the way, let me see. How are you doing so far? Are you understanding me? Show me your level of understanding at this point. 5, I know it's the well, teacher. Don't you worry, I'm good. 4, just chillax, teacher. I understand you. 2, you know what does it mean. 3, you know that you need question 1. Yeah. Hmm. Oh wow. I can chillax a bit here. I can chill, right? Because all most of you are full, but I wonder what about the rest who haven't responded yet. Hmm. Let me see and find out where they are. Yeah, they're here, but I hope they're listening and paying attention. You know who you are. Respond the next time I ask you a question. All right, let's do it one by one. However, you will see one label at a time. Could you please tell in the chat room whether this is right or wrong? Mm-hmm. You can use correct or incorrect. All right, let me use the first one. Okay, is this properly labeled? Let me reconfigure the camera. The first one is this. I'm going to step this up, and that's the plant okra. Is this a correct match? Type in the room, yes or no. Is this a correct match? Waiting. If you haven't typed the word either yes or no, please do so now, but don't just copy your classmates' responses because they're all yes. Alright. Jose, did you put your response? Thank you. Oh yeah, I can see Maria, Andrea, Jasmine, Jose, Kevin, and the rest whom I will not call their name said yes, correct. Yes. Lovely. We know that plants in the pyramid are always at the bottom of the triangle and they have the most space. Isn't it? Many places, even in the ocean, you see plants practically everywhere. Even in the desert, there are desert plants. Sparsely, though, meaning to say not a whole lot, but you still see desert grass on the desert. Sometimes you even say, wow, they're surviving. Well, because they have roots that can dig down deeper into the soil, into the sand, that can reach the water table, but very sparsely. Yes, that's why the producers is the most at the bottom of the pyramid. All right, excellent. Next, let us label the snail. I got the snail. Please tell me if this snail is properly labeled. Let me say, okay, I put consumer and the snail, it says here, is a plant eater. Tell me, is this correct or not correct? A timestamp 124, correct or not correct? Yes or no? 124. 124. Okay, put your name, make it appear so I can count you for participation points today. Karen said yes. If you haven't, please do so. Yes, correct. Lovely. Okay, they are herbivores. They are like vegetarian. I think we know that. Snails, they munch on plants. Okay, that's why farmers don't want them in their farm because they eat the leaves and the fruits. They use sometimes pesticides, and we have learned in the past how cruel, how could be bad in the water we drink, right? Especially if it is a commercially made fertilizer. All right. Okay. So here we have the consumers, and we know that consumers, they are organisms that they could you everyone please look at the screen. Please read for me. They depend on others for food. Just like human beings. We cannot survive without getting the ingredients from the market, from the plants to put food on the table. Unlike the plants, they are the only organisms that can. We have learned this in the past. that can. What do plants do? That's why they're able to survive on their own with light, water, and carbon dioxide. Tell me, what do they do? Type the green word in the chat room at 126. Type the green word in the chat room at 126. Yes, photosynthesis, which was our lesson a month or two ago. And I said, a moment ago, we're going to make a connection on what we have learned in the past, putting this together. And you should have planted your seeds, two sets, back in time. hmm If you have not done any project yet, I wonder what are you doing? You still can do them. They are still in the office. We still have 17 days to go. You can still wrap it up and make the most of the remaining time in order to make the grade climb up a little bit faster. Especially the grade has been almost at the bottom of the bar. Yeah, the photosynthesis. Let me see who did it. Let me find out. I got Jasmine, Jesse, Jose, Karen, David, Maria, Natalia. Carlos, I don't see your name. Jose, Kevin, I didn't either see your name. Vincent, are you sleeping, Vincent? I have not seen your name since the last time you chimed in during the attendance check. And as well as David, Christopher, Arturo. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Photosynthesis are very important natural biological processes on Earth that makes the life of all living things on this planet possible because of the oxygen we get and the food we need for energy. Again, whether we love plants for food or not, we are directly or indirectly depending on what we love vegetables, but you still get benefit from. Hello, Jose. Do you love vegetables? I do. Whether we love vegetable or not, we directly or indirectly benefit from. Mhm. Because the cows are plant eaters. So without the plant, there are no milk from cows. Yeah, indirectly. Yeah. I was just talking to a classmate here. Some people don't even like plants. Without knowing that, when you drink milk and the milk from cow needs grass. So without grass, no cows. No cows, no milk. Right? Are you still with me, by the way? I was walking in the room talking to your classmates there. Are you still with me? Yeah. Yeah. I hope you change your mind to try to be on campus. It's pretty cool. Yes, Jasmine. Indirectly. Because lactose intolerant. So, well, these are the people who don't, who eat, I would say, their diet is primarily dairy free, without dairy. So they use a plant-based milk. Plant-based. That's a good question here. What about people who are lactose intolerant? What about people who cannot drink milk from animal? So what they eat are the plant-based product. By the way, did you know that they just came out with a hamburger that is made up of plant only? Right? Yes, the veggie burger. Go to McDonald's. I think, yeah, they do, but it's kind of pricey though. It tastes good, I tried it one day and I fancy another burger. McDonald's they do. It's an alternative meat. There's no meat at all, but it looks like and it tastes like a real hamburger. Yes, meat has milk. If it is a cow that survived by drinking, meaning by eating plant, right? Because if there are no grasses, there will be no food for cows. If there is less cow population, then there gonna be less milk production, right? So that is why we have to have an alternative. That's why scientists have now came up with a new technology, what we call the plant-based product. We're gonna have that lesson later in time. And I will even able to show you a documentary lesson. I used to have a presenter who visits the classroom, talks about the plant-based product, but because of the pandemic, we can't do it. But I do have great documentaries coming from that non-government agency who love to share saving the environment by utilizing plant-based product. Remember in our lesson in the past? So whether we want to accept it or not, it's a reality that the environment is on a safer side, better for the environment if we are using plant-based product. Do you remember the video that we saw in the past with regards to how animals are being slaughtered? Before they slaughter, they are caged in a place wherein they are crunched. There's no social distancing, and how much waste we get from these animals. Some of them are being used for fertilizer, but a lot of them are dumped directly into the river. hmm I hope you remember that. So you see the mountain of animal waste product that they gathered because these are animals that has been in the cage waiting for the time for them to be slaughtered. While waiting for the time to be slaughtered, they have accumulated so much manure and some of this waste poop being used as fertilizer, but most of it they're being dumped into the river. And the river, the water there is a source of drinking water of a lot of people. We're gonna get back to that. So I hope you see the connection here. All right. Do you see the connection? I'm waiting. Do you see the connection? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. At times of 134 before we move on. Do you see the connection between how plants, for instance, be able to save the environment or how living things benefit from the products from plants like source of food, source of oxygen? I hope you see that connection. hmm I hope you see that connection. At 1:35. All right, let us continue on. Doing a time check. We are in a good time. All right, last but not the least, I'm going to label this. Could you please tell me if this is correctly labeled? Na, 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 na. Hold on, where is the other one? Lastly, could you type in the room this word? Type in the room. I'm waiting. Let's get back on track. At 1:35, please label. Lovely. If you haven't, please do so. Excellent. I have one example that we have used in the past as well. Could you tell me if this a correct combination? Worm or decomposers? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. They make the soil very good. for plants to grow. Remember the pesticide lesson we had? That worms may die when we apply artificial fertilizers. Yeah, all the bugs will die, but the worms that are not bothering the plants, they even make the soil good for the plants to grow, are also being killed. Okay? Let us move on to the final step of our lesson. Let me clear this, and I need you to help me in this process. Okay. Let me. Yes. Okay. Let me get this. Alright, so far we're going to move to the final part of our lesson. But before doing that, could you tell me your level of understanding so far when it comes to the long recall and making connection we had? 5 I know it so well. At 137, I see your name. Excellent, lovely. Now I feel much better and I see 5 and 4. If you haven't responded yet, please do so. Now, meanwhile, at timestamp 137, everyone please type the word Trophic Pyramid. Everybody please, I will see your name. Trophic Pyramid. Yes, at timestamp 138, Trophic Pyramid. Let me do a quick time check here. Mm-hmm. 12, 10, hold on. Looking at the time. Mm, oh, we're good. We're good because I hear them setting up the carts outside. Huh, that's not lunch yet. No, 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 we're good. Sorry. You know, we're using a pretty new schedule. All right. All right, thanks. The Trophic Pyramid, if you haven't typed the word yet, my eyes get bigger, huh? Please do so now. Remember a while ago I said instead of using the word triangle, I will be using, you and I will be using the word pyramid instead. They are same principle behind, but in this case, I have some examples that I need you to tell me in the room whenever I point them with a pencil. Let's become familiar with the organisms in the pyramid. All right, everybody, please, including Emily, who was the last one who participated. Please tell me, everyone, please. I'll point using the pencil, and please tell me what animal or plant am I pointing. What about this? I'll move a little bit closer. This is the picture, and that's the name. What animal is this? Type in the room. A weasel. A 139, I will see it. Lovely. If you haven't typed the word participation, a weasel. Next, could you tell me what animal is this? This one. This one. This one. A squirrel. And here you will see there are two animals that belong in the same part of the pyramid, which is above the grasses and the sea. Okay, now, here we will see that these animals are arranged according to what they eat, similar to what we had learned in the past. I'm going to label them one by one, using the ones that we've used. Animal eater, okay. Here's one. So I'm going to use consumers, and these are the carnivores. These are animals that eat animals only. So in this case, so the whistle is a carnivore. That's an animal that eats animal only. All right. So beneath it, we do have two other animals. Now, this is the time that we will need to consider what they are and how many they are. how many they are. All right. Look at the pyramid and focus on the part of the pyramid that is above the plant. Could you tell me how many are they? And these are the organisms that depend on plant for food. I'm not going to show you, but I need you to go and figure. How many? How many animals can you find in the pyramid that depend on plants for food? Type in the chat. I'm asking for the number. At 141, I will see your name telling me how many animals. Yeah, truly, 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 truly. Yes, we're nailing it. We're nailing it. And that's what I want you to be able to do. When you look at the triangle, be able to identify what they are and how many. Yeah, two is correct, right? Yeah, because there's also two plants there. They're not the ones that I want to point on. They are the ones feeding these two animals. Thank you, Carlos. Better late than never. All right, I hope you know the question for that. Yeah, there are two as well here. And these two are the producers. Yeah, they're still here as well, but they are not producers. They are consumers. They are consumers. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. They are consumers that eat plant only. Hold on, let me see. Where is the other label I have? Oh, it's okay. They are consumers, but they eat. I'm going to cross this one. But they eat plants only. I hope you are able to figure it out. You saw I put a cross mark here. That is to say, they can't photosynthesize, but they are right above the plants in the pyramid. Therefore, they're herbivores. In other words, they're kind of vegetarian when it comes to feeding habit. All right. How are we doing lately? Tell me. With the comes to the trophic to the pyramid, did we count how many they are? Tell me. Did we count? Yes or no? Did we count how many animals? Yes, we did. We counted how many, determined how many there are in that particular part of the pyramid. And we even put identification. Whether they are, what kind of consumer are they? Do they love plants only? Or do they eat both plant and animal? Alright. So that's one of the main skills that I would love everybody to do. Alright, last but not the least, in this pyramid once again, how many producers do we have here? Now back to the count. Look at the pyramid. How many producers are present? How many producers are present? How many, I'm going to use the word species. How many species of producers? And remember, producers are plants. Yeah, I know it. I gave you a clue for the most part. They're plants. So you heard me saying the word species. These are different kinds of individuals that belong to more or less related population. For example, this is a plant species, another plant species. This is a grass, this is a seed. They may be coming from different kind of plant, but they both belong in the plant Population, which the word we used in our lesson last week. Could you type the word population once again? Population. A timestamp 146. And I will allow you to go after watching a clip. Yes, population. If you haven't typed the word, please do so now. Yeah, population. Alright, lastly, how did we do in understanding the lesson? Tell me your level of understanding. Do it now. Last, this is the last and final before I let you watch a short video clip that will help you understand the lesson well. Lovely.